support and all levels flow. So today's class, my theme is about to purify, right? So what I mean by that, it's we're working with the throat today. The focus will be the throat, which is basically the bridge between like the heart and the mind, right? So being able to clear space so we can communicate like with clarity and be able to express ourselves in a creative way, and also being able to just basically say what we want to say, right? So sometimes I feel like it's hard for us to say no to people or to speak our truth, right? So that's also in yoga, you can get a little bit of blockage in your throat. So we're gonna be, with that being said, we're gonna be working on releasing the shoulders, the neck, upper back, throat, and think about sound. So today we're gonna be working with two audible sounds, with the Ujjayi breath, which is that breath that creates that ocean sound like. So think about inhaling and exhaling through the back of your throat. So if you're not familiar with Ujjayi breath, think is when you take a big breath in and you open your mouth and fog a mirror, like. So you want to do that, but with your mouth closed. So you're going to inhale. So you should be able to hear your sound, right? The second breath we're going to be working with today, it's called lion's breath. It's quite silly, but I'm not going to be able to see you doing that, so don't worry about it. So you take a big breath in, open mouth. So you stick your tongue out, and you can even shift your gaze to that space in between your eyebrows. So, don't be shy, go for it, get as loud as possible. All right, friends? So find a seated position. You can cross your legs. Feel free to sit on a blanket or a block. And first thing we're gonna do here is to bring the hands to the shoulders and start to draw circles here. So start to tap into the breath right away. So you inhale, the elbows touch, start to exhale, draw a big circle. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall here. And then slowly, again, bring the elbows to touch. Inhale, and then slowly exhale. Draw that wide circle. Now reverse the direction. Start to bring the opposite. So the elbows go wide, and then you bring the elbows to touch in front of your chest. And you can move very slow, or you can move a little bit faster. See where you are today. Just like warming up, lubricating the shoulder joints here. Good. And then release. Take your hands to your knees. Now take a big breath in. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears. You're going to open mouth, exhale, let the shoulders drop. Again, inhale. Exhale. Two more. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Now take your left arm across the body and then slowly stretch here. Take two more breaths. Draw your belly slightly in so you can sit nice and tall. One more. Good, and then slowly release, switch sides. Take your right arm over and add a little bit of pressure here with your hand. One more breath in. And slowly release. Now you're gonna take your left arm behind your back. With your right hand, you're gonna lace the fingers. So you're gently pulling into the arm here. Now, start to take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Good, and then slowly come back to neutral and release. So now take your right arm behind your back. So see how I'm catching my fingers here. You can lace or hold your wrist, whatever is available to you. And now take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Start to soften a bit more into the upper body. Final one. Bring your head back to neutral and then slowly release. All right, now sitting here, keep your hands on your knees. We're gonna do seated cat-cow. I want you to really exaggerate the movement if you can. So think about diving, going under a wave. So you're gonna inhale, arch your spine, squeeze the shoulder blades behind your back, lift your gaze. And then exhale, round, roll towards your tailbone, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale, arch your spine, lift your gaze. Exhale, round. Keep going here, find your own rhythm. Inhale, exhale. Do this one more time. Now we're gonna add a little bit more here. So I'm gonna turn sideways so it's easier for you to see. So you're gonna inhale, arch. As you exhale, take your feet off the ground. And then go back, inhale. Exhale, add a little bit of core here. You can even tap your toes on the floor if you need. Inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, find that boat pose. Good, one more time. And then exhale, now hold it here for 3 breaths. If you can, reach your arms up towards the sky, lengthen through the spine, lift your heart, pull that belly in. For 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Hug your shins, lengthen the spine, lengthen the low back. One more breath here. Now place your hands behind you. Your feet are about hip width apart. You're going to stack your knees over your ankles. Now lift your hips as high as your shoulders if you can. Lift your gaze up towards the ceiling or behind you to open that throat. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. And then slowly bring your sits bones down to the ground. Extend your legs in front of you. And then just fold here. And you can round your spine. It's totally fine. We're still, warming up the body. No need to force anything just yet. Just take note how your legs are feeling, your back. Try to soften with each exhale as you continue to expand your breath. One more. And then slowly release the pose. You're gonna come into your tabletop here. And we're gonna go into puppy pose. If you can, I want you to bring your chin to the floor instead of your forehead. So release, sits bones towards the ceiling, hips in line. Press your forearms, come into a Sphinx pose here just for a moment. Take a big breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest. Stay active through your legs, your forearms pressing actively here. Now draw your chin towards your left shoulder. Breathe into the side of the neck here. Come back to center, chin to chest, and then switch sides. Come back to center, big breath in. Exhale, go back to neutral, and then lift your gaze. And then slowly release. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Feel free to paddle your feet, to shake your head yes and no. So today is all about the breath. It's all about creating that sound, right? Make your breath audible. You should be able to hear each inhale and exhale. Using the breath to expand, to purify, to cleanse. Take an inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Walk your feet towards your hands. Press your hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. So exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to bow, Uttanasana. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Moving through some salutations here. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, heart leads the way, fold. Big breath in. Step back plank. Hold it here. We have 3 breaths. So you can bring your knees to the floor if you need to modify, or you can also drop to your forearms if this is too much on your wrists. We have 1 more breath here. Inhale slowly for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Inhale, and then exhale, lower down. Take your hands wider, going into spider cobra. So lift your chest, take a big breath in. Exhale, take your right shoulder down as you turn your gaze to the left. So you're taking a little twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder this time. Breathe back to center. Lift your gaze slightly, but don't crunch your neck too much. And release, downward dog. Every time you revisit your downward dog is an opportunity for you to find stillness, to reconnect, tune in. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold right back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands. You can step or jump, move through your flow. You can do knees, chest, and chin. Lower in one piece, take cobra, or you can do chaturanga dandasana when you lower halfway and go into upward dog. Starting to activate the tapas, right? The heat in our body, which helps us to loosen things up, get things moving. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, exhale, hop or walk. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Breathe in, lengthen. As you breathe out, move like you use the same exhale to lower down, friends. As you inhale, open the heart, take your back bend. As you exhale, downward dog. So remember, follow the breath. Even though I'm cueing the poses, right? You're still following your breath. So it doesn't matter if you move slower or faster than I do. But you don't want to lose connection to the breath. Raise your right leg to the sky. Step your right foot forward. Plant your left heel. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Square off the hips. Draw the belly in, knit your ribs together. Lace the fingers behind your back. Bring the shoulder blades to touch. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, fold. Humble warrior. So we're gonna move through all the warriors today. Very powerful poses. They require us to stay present and keep that connection, mind, body, breath. Release your hands to the floor. Extend your right leg, pyramid pose, 2 straight legs. Open up a little bit the back of the leg, the hamstring. Remember, you're always welcome to use blocks or books. Notice if you transfer tension to the shoulders or fingers, jaw. Keep that jaw relaxed as you soften the lips. So in order for us to communicate, right, we need to be able to listen. So today is also about listening to your body, to whatever you're feeling in each pose, listening to your intuition, to your inner guidance. Step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press your feet, rise. As you exhale, cactus your arms, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, reach. One more time. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, plant your hands, stack or jump. Flow or not. We meet in downward dog. Bridge your left leg high. Step your left foot forward, right heel down, rise. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Give yourself time, right, to fully arrive. Lace your fingers. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Keep breathing into the upper back, in between the shoulder blades, the heads of the shoulders, the back of the neck. But stay also committed to the legs here, right? Your foundation, your feet, your legs. Tap into the power of the breath. Release your hands, straighten your front leg. Pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Feel the pose. Continue to breathe through sensations. Continue to give yourself permission to release a little bit more, to soften a bit more. Keep the quality to your breath. As you hear yourself breathing, Step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lion's breath. Again, inhale. Exhale, get loud. Inhale, reach. Lace your fingers, release your index finger. So that Charlie Angel's mudra here. Glue your biceps by your ears. Soften the knees just a little bit. Pull your belly in. Inhale. Exhale, reach your hips forward as you lift your gaze up and back. So your gaze follow that line you trace in the ceiling or the sky. One more. Slowly come back to center. Keep your arms the way they are. Now bend your knees deeply. With a flat back, start to fold over the legs. Now here, just grab your elbows with opposite hands and then slowly straighten the legs. You can sway a little bit from side to side. You can bend one knee, then the other. Let's take a breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Release your hands. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, plant your hands. Flow. Or just press back, downward facing dog. Raise your right leg to the sky, step your right foot forward, rise warrior one as you inhale. You're gonna cactus your arms, take your left elbow under the right. Palms may or may not touch, the back of the hands, it's fine as well. So keep that left heel rooting down, and then you fold once again. This time, you're gonna start to reach the fingertips forward. You're gonna feel this a little bit more in your upper back. Keep your neck nice and long here. One more. Release your hands towards the top left corner of your mat. Adding a little down dog lunge here, getting a little bit more into the hip. Let your chest release towards the earth. Keep your hands shoulder width or a little bit wider. Now walk your hands towards the midline. Take your right foot wider than the rib cage. So we're in the lizard pose here. If you need something more active today, you keep your knee off the ground. Otherwise, you can release your knee down. You can even come down to your forearms. Continue to press firmly through that right heel. Lengthen the mid and upper back. Curl the back toes under once again. Press back, three-legged dog here. So your right heel reaches up towards the sky. Bend your right knee. You may stay here or you may flip your dog and lift your gaze up and back here. So working on a back bend. Again, opening the throat. Slow with control, come back to downward dog. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, flow. Inhale, take a back bend of your choice here. Notice if you lose connection to your breath. That's what matters the most. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep that Ujjayi breath going. Inhale, slowly exhale. On your next inhalation, raise your left leg, step your foot forward, plant your right heel, rise, warrior one. Exhale, cactus your arms. You're gonna take your right elbow under and then slowly fold here for a variation of your humble warrior. Keep your hips squared here. So the tendency will be that left hip wants to shift out. Make sure you wrap your left hip back towards that back heel. Fingertips reach forward. Release your hands towards that top right corner of your mat. Make sure you give your shoulders some space. Let your head hang here. Notice as you hold this shape, where does your mind go? Can you just stay here present and appreciate the sweetness of the pose, the power of the pose, and the breath? Walk the hands back towards the midline. Walk your feet a little bit wider. Find your lizard. Maybe you need to walk that back foot away from you a little bit more. And you can release your knee down. And just hold it here. Breathe. Both hands inside your left leg. If you want to drop down to your forearms, you can do that as well. But again, remember, yoga is about the present moment. So allow yourself to just be here, right? On your mat. I know when we're, doing things on our own, if you're home or at the office, the mind tends to, go on a trip. So just be aware. Try not to think about, oh, I need to vacuum, or I need to clean, or I need to cook, or my child, my dog. This is your moment to cultivate self-love, self-care. All right, curl your back toes under. If your knee is on the floor, you're gonna press back to your three-legged dog. So again, you can just stay here and bend your knee and hold, or you can flip your dog. If you did so on the other side, at least try on this side as well. It may not happen. Be okay with that. Detach yourself from judgment. Come back to your downward dog. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, move like you. Downward dog, that's where we meet. Raise your right leg. Step your foot forward. This time you're going to stay on the ball of your back foot. Inhale, high lunge. Square off the hips, soften the shoulders. Bring your hands to prayer behind your head. Lift your gaze, but let your head rest here on your arms. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Stabilize through the legs. Stretch your arms up, inhale, look up, lengthen, exhale. Draw the hands to the heart center. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, find your warrior three. Extend your back leg about hip height, doesn't have to be crazy high. Wake up your feet here, the one that's pressing on the floor, and that left one which is reaching behind you. One more, open your chest a little bit more. Take your hands to the floor, standing splits, just one breath, fold here. Cross your left leg behind, stay on the ball of that left foot, raise your right arm, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, flat back. And breathe out, flow, or find stillness in child's pose or downward dog. Take 3 breaths here first. Try not to step into the future. Take the opportunity to reconnect to the breath, to observe mind, body. Raise your left leg. Step your foot forward, stack your knee over your ankle, tone the legs, inhale, rise. High lunge. Palms touch, bring that prayer behind your head. Lean back a little bit here, trust yourself. If you notice that low back is scrunching, you can always bend your back knee a little bit more. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, draw the energy to the heart. We're gonna go into warrior three. Inhale. Exhale, transfer the weight towards your left leg. Big breath in. Stay for the exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor, standing splits. Release your neck, release your shoulders. Curtsy, cross your right leg behind. Raise your left arm, twist. And inhale, rise. Mountain pose, hands to the heart center. All right. We're gonna work on arm balance today. So we're gonna work with crow pose, Bakasana. So I like to work with crow with my feet together. So you're gonna bring your hands to the floor. You're gonna open your knees wide and come to the balls of your feet here, friends. Now hug your knees into your armpits or your triceps. My hands are as wide as my mat here. Spread your fingers wide, lift your gaze as you shift your weight forward into the hands. Maybe that's where you stop today. Or you can try to lift one foot off the ground. Maybe take both. I'm pressing my finger pads like crazy. They're my brakes here. I'm lifting my gaze because that's where my body is gonna go. The belly draws in. And release. Stay on the balls of your feet, open your knees wide, and just walk the hands away from you. Tuck your chin. Malasana variation. One more breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. All right. From here, you can just straighten the legs, step back to your downward dog. And then bring your knees to the floor. Stand on your knees. We're gonna work with camel pose, Ustrasana. So a great back bend, right, to open the heart space and also the throat. So option to keep your feet untucked, the toes untucked, or tuck your toes under. Take your hands behind your back, fingertips point down. Now hide your elbows behind you. Pull the belly in. Inhale. Exhale, press your hips forward. It doesn't have to be a huge movement here. It can be a very tiny baby back bend. Stay with the breath. Three more. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, sit on your heels or a block. You may close your eyes. Just take a moment here to pause and observe your reactivity to the pose. Some people tend to get a little bit dizzy or nauseous sometimes or overwhelmed, right? Because it's a pose that it's like, it makes you vulnerable, right? So just notice here. And then open your eyes. Come to stand on your knees one more time. We're gonna go for round two. You can do the exact same variation. If you wanna get a little bit more playful, more fluid, you can start sitting on your heels with your toes tucked under. Hold your left heel, take an inhale, press the hips forward, reach the right arm over your ear. Now sit back, and then switch sides. So always bring your sits bones towards your heels before you switch. And keep breathing here. Work on opening that mid and upper back. You're already flexible in your low back, most likely. Do this one more time each side. Think as if you're dancing here. Follow the breath. There's no right or wrong. And then, if you want, you can go full camel here. One hand to each heel. Press the hips forward. Make sure you're not leaning back. And heart leads the way. Come back to center. Sit on your heels. Thank yourself for the efforts. All right, we're gonna work on our counter pose. We're gonna work with rabbit pose. So if you're already familiar with rabbit, you can go ahead and set up. So this is also like a throat lock. It can feel a little uncomfortable at first, but you get used to it. So your feet are touching. It's important that you grab your heels. So if you notice my hand, I'm turning my palms out, right? So my thumbs are facing out. All four fingers are gonna grab my heels from the inside. So my thumb is outside. Now I'm gonna bring my forehead towards my knees. Roll towards the crown of your head. Lift your hips, but keep grabbing your heels. And slowly release. Extend your arms in front of you, child's pose. Rock your head from side to side. 2 more breaths here, just softening a little bit more. Give yourself permission to let go. And then press yourself up to downward dog, up and back to downward dog. Walk your hands towards your feet, just a few inches, enough where you can reach your right hand to your left shin or ankle. Keep your left hand flat on the ground. Shift your gaze under the left armpit as you pull into the left leg, bending your right elbow. And switch sides. Take your left hand to your right leg or ankle, press through the right palm. Make sure you're not sinking into the shoulder. Slowly release. Walk yourself towards the top of your mat. Take a big breath in. Big breath out, fold. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale to rise. Hands to the heart center. All right, we're gonna finish with a standing balancing pose. We're gonna work a little bit more on twisting here. So you're gonna shift your weight to your left foot, raise your right heel, and stand tall here. Engage right away through the belly. Lift your knee about hip height, not very high. Make sure you can see your toes. Take your left hand to your leg. Reach your right arm behind you. Level 2, left hand catches the outer edge of your right foot and extend the leg in front of you. Grow a little bit taller, press through that foot, reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Last breath here, twist a little more. And come back to center and release. Shake it up, start fresh. And we're gonna switch sides. So now you're balancing on your right foot, lift your left heel. Take your knee about hip height. Right hand, left leg, reach your left arm behind you. 3 breaths. Grow a little taller. Twist a little more as you exhale. Come back to center and release. Shake it out. Bring your feet to touch. We're gonna do this 3 times. So remember, we're gonna shrug the shoulders towards the ears. Take a big breath in, open mouth, exhale. Make it like a very loud, audible exhale. So inhale, exhale. 2 more, inhale, exhale. Last one. All right, we're gonna come down. And we're gonna take 2 more breaths here. So we're gonna work on the traditional lion's breath. So the traditional lion's breath, you tuck your toes behind you, you sit on your heels, you're gonna take your hands to the floor. So you're gonna stick your tongue out, and you, again, if you can, lift your gaze right in between your eyebrows, or what we call the third eye. Take a big breath in, exhale. One more time. Good, very nice. I know this is, it doesn't look very, it's very silly and funny, but it's a great breath. It's cleansing. It helps you to release, stress, anxiety. So always feel free to do, when nobody's looking, take your lion's breath. All right, open your legs wide here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, just walk the hands in front of you. Keep the mid and upper back nice and long. So the moment you feel the need to start rounding, to take the hands to the floor, just pause there, soften a bit more. Notice where you actually feel this pose, right? It can be in many different places. If it's at the hamstring, the low back, the groins, sometimes behind the knees. For those of you very tight in your hamstrings, you can always bend your knees, and if you have blocks, you place one block under each knee. And remember, this pose will be very different every single day. If you do 5 days a week, trust me, every single day is going to be different. That's why we have to be kind to ourselves, right? We need to give ourselves some grace and just go with the flow. One day, one breath at a time. And then slowly walk your hands back. See if you can open the leg a little bit wider. Find a little bit more sensation. Good, sit tall here. Now take your left ear towards your left shoulder. You can take your right hand out to the side, and maybe even your left hand comes to the top of your head. But don't press your head down, don't force. Just let your arm feel heavy, like hanging. Slowly release that left hand if you're using. Now start to turn your gaze towards your left shoulder. So you should be feeling this in a different area of your neck. Just bring your chin towards your chest, slow, and go into the other side. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Take your left hand out to the side. Maybe take your hand to the side of your head. Continue to relax into the lower body here. Notice if you start to grip or resist. Release that right hand. Now start to turn your gaze towards your right shoulder. Roll your chin towards your chest. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, lift your gaze. Open the front of the throat. Good, come back to center. Just draw a few circles here with your shoulders. So bring the shoulders up, back, down. One more up, back, down. Good. From here, slowly close your legs. Shake it out. Maybe you even windshield wipe. We're gonna take a seated twist. So extend your left leg, cross your right foot over. You can keep your bottom leg straight, or you can hug that heel in. Sit tall. Make sure your right sit bone also presses the ground here if you choose to do that. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale, raise your left arm. Exhale, twist to your right. So use the left elbow to press into the leg to help you rotate the rib cage a little bit more. Each inhale to create space, each exhale to twist a little more. And slowly release, take a counter twist. breathe in the mid back and upper back and release. Switch sides. So again, option to keep your right leg straight, cross your left leg over, left hand behind you, inhale, reach, exhale, twist. One more. Slowly release, counter twist. Slowly release. Plant your feet hip width apart once again. So we're going to revisit that tabletop. Stack your knees over your ankles. Lift your hips nice and high. Inhale, exhale through the mouth. Two more. Last one. Slowly release. Extend both legs in front of you. Big breath in. And fold. Rock the hips back a little bit. Notice how this pose feels from the very beginning of the class. Remember, we took this pose, the tabletop, and then Paschimottanasana. Just notice what feels different. No need to judge, to compare, right? Just observe. Maybe it's your breath that's different, or you feel a little bit more space in the legs and the low back, or the shoulders are relaxed now. Two more. And walk the hands back. Slowly come down to your backs. And just take a moment here to rock a little